Okay, so this covers activity on the node. I think everybody likes activity on the node a lot more than we like activity on the arrow. This example right here, I'm not sure there's an example specifically on this one in the textbook, but it is pretty straightforward. I don't want to say that this is a trick question because it's not. It does, however, require you to give it some thought. One of the crucial rules of scheduling, as I mentioned before, is that I start a network with one activity and finish a network with one activity. Okay, in this case, there's no immediately preceding activity for A, B, or C. So the way I want to diagram this one is like this. And activity on the node, again, works a little bit differently. I'm going to use squares instead of circles. I'm going to put just the letters in the middle of the box right here. And those three activities start out my sequence. Activity D is preceded by both A and B. So all I have to do to diagram that one is link it as follows, right? D preceded by both A and B, right? It says right there. Activity E, I can put those down here. That's preceded by both B and C, so B and C. Now, if you've gotten this far and you think you're done, you're not only are you not complete, but you're wrong. And the reason you're wrong is because I've got three activities starting off the sequence and two ending the sequence. So crucial that you got, especially when we get into critical path, if I've got two finish dates, it's going to totally mess up my critical path calculation. Same thing with if I've got three start dates, that totally messes up my critical path calculations. So the solution in both of these instances on both ends of this diagram right here is a diamond. Okay, and this one is called project start. And I'm going to link that as follows. And actually, a lot of times in scheduling software, Primavera, I will just insert a start milestone date to make sure that I have but one activity that kicks off the whole entire sequence. Still not complete. I've got two possible termination points. Again, if the durations for this are different, and later on when you do critical path method, you may find that there's a different duration going from project start to D than there is going to E, in which case your software may give you a false result. So another thing we put into Primavera is a project finish milestone date, and all I have to do in this case is link that to that. Might see a test question like this. It's a real simple diagram, activity on the node. We haven't even gotten into durations yet, so these three right here, the only thing that's important in this diagram right here is how I link these activities together. A, B, and C kick this whole thing off. There's nothing that precedes A, B, and C, so they all start essentially at the same time, except for the fact that I need to indicate the project start with a single date. A and B precede D, so that's linked that's shown with those two arrows right there. A and B precede D, and B and C precede E right here. Okay. Again, I still need a project finish date or a project finish milestone to indicate that there's a single activity to end the network and a single activity to start the network.